Yeah, I mean, but do you think he's going to go to Margiela?
I hope he does, but I'm not too sure.
Because although, like, artistically it's an upgrade, I guess financially it would be a downgrade.
Right.
Right. You know, because Diesel's their mother company, like, makes so much money for them. I don't
Yeah,
think
Diesel
Margiela's
I
making.
think is actually the brand that makes the most money at
What is?
Diesel.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah. It is. But I mean, it won't be a downgrade if he does both at the same time, though, which he was doing with Y Project and Diesel anyway. So I don't see why he couldn't do Diesel and Margiela at the same time. It's a lot of work, obviously, but he could do it.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't think he will. I'd love that to happen, but I don't think he will.
Really, I just think not that I'm like downgrading Diesel, but I just think that someone of Glenn Martin's talent level needs an outlet where he can be a bit more creative than what he does with Diesel.
Totally. But then, are we going to see more creative Diesel from this?
Probably not. I mean, Diesel is and Understitch. By the way, if you guys haven't watched it, has a really good video on Y Project because there's something he pointed out in his video that I thought was really interesting. Where Glenn Martens, especially when he first went to Diesel, was kind of using Diesel as a place to feed ideas before developing them at Y Project. So he would kind of test ideas in a more commercial way, and then if it works, he would kind of advance it for Y Project. But I think without the Margiela, there's no way for him to really experiment further with those ideas. It would stop at the commercial level of it.
Yeah, totally.
So I don't know. I just think
And
he
sorry,
needs an outlet for that.
yeah, I think as well. Like, isn't there like rumors that perhaps he could be going to Jean Paul Gaultier?
I've heard that because for people that don't know, Jean Paul Gaultier, for quite a few years now, since he retired himself, has just been doing guest collections, guest couture collections. So we've seen all kind of designers have guest collections from Glenn Martens himself to Simone Rocha to Olivier Rousteing, like many different designers. And now it's rumored that instead they are now actually looking for a creative director to just take over the helm and start designing collections there. Now, it would make sense for him to go there. I think it makes sense for him to go to a lot of places. Obviously, he worked at Jean Paul Gaultier. That was his first job as a junior designer out of university. He's also done collaborations with Jean Paul Gaultier at Y Project, and he's done a guest collection at Jean Paul Gaultier. So obviously, he has a good relationship with Jean Paul Gaultier himself. He has a good relationship with the brand. It would make all the sense in the world to go there. So that makes sense.
And also the head of design for their commercial collection at the moment is Glenn's ex design consultant for Y3.
Right.
Yeah, or like Glenn's ex head of design for Y3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And now he's head of design at the commercial collections for Jean Paul Gaultier.
That would be cool. I mean, as much as I want to see him go to Margiela, only because when I think of Margiela, I'm like, who else? But
Yeah.
aside from that, yeah, Jean Paul Gaultier would be literally a perfect fit. Like, it couldn't be more perfect.
The blue key left. Seeing Simone Rocha there, I agree would be great, but she barely could do her own collection when she was doing the couture. She really struggled. Like, she was quite open about it in a few interviews. So I don't think she would ever pick up another house.
Yeah, I don't think Simone Rocha, she doesn't give me the vibe of someone who, I feel like she just wants to have a work-life balance.
Yeah.
She strikes me as someone that actually values that and isn't like, like the typical fashion workhorse that, gives their heart. Like, she obviously takes it seriously, but I mean, like, some people literally put everything into fashion to the detriment of their mental health. I don't think she's that kind of person, which is good, by the way.
And also, how many brands do you know that have been going for like 10 years that have 4 stores?
Yeah.
A couple of collaborations behind their back and doing really well. Like, I don't think she doesn't have to. It's a bit like Jacques Mousse, like, he's doing fine, sweetie.
Yeah. And she has such a cult following. Like, so many Asians wear her brand. Like, the ones that want to dress in that very, like, girly, ditzy way.
Yeah.
Like, the pearl hair clips. And the thing I love about Simone Rocha, she does so well commercially because she's really good at filtering her ideas into things that make sense commercially.
She makes knickknacks,
Like,
doesn't she? She's good at that.
yeah, like
She's
her
good at the
accessories, like different,
tchotchkes.
yeah, like hair clips and hair bands. Those sell like crazy.
Yeah, like my mum will buy one of them a season, like maybe in the sale or maybe full price, depending what it is. But
Right.
because she knows she's always going to fit it, and she can just like pop it in her hair or put an earring in, and it feels like you're identifying with the brand. because she won't buy the clothing. She doesn't fit it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I also
silly
will
as you
say
know.
that this stuff, when Glenn Martens was doing the whole collab stuff with Jean Paul Gaultier at Y Project, this had fashion in a chokehold.
It's so funny.
These pieces, I could not stop seeing them around the time when they came. Like, I literally got so tired of seeing them. Like,
Yeah.
they were everywhere. And I think if he does go to Jean Paul Gaultier, I think there's certain things that he can actually bring back into the mainstream for sure. I mean, he's already done it, so I don't see why he couldn't do it again.
To be honest, I think his tops, his collaboration he did with them was kind of the catalyst for them to restart doing some of their mesh again.
Yeah, yeah. Because of the success of it.
Definitely, and I think what people realise as well is there is an appetite for that sort of thing because it's 250 quid. We always talk about this when I'm on here, but it's that attainable price, isn't it? Somebody can save for 250 quid for a top rather than a $2,000 for a jacket.
And it's actually something that you would want to wear because it's interesting. I mean, because some brands, they charge 800 for a t-shirt.
And it's Instagrammable.
Yeah.
Hate to say it.
No, you shouldn't hate to say it because, I mean, a lot of people dress for... we talk about this all the time. Like, a lot of people do dress for Instagram. So when they buy things, they have Instagram in mind where it's like, will this actually work? This YouTube channel runs on your support. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to my Patreon. You'll gain access to exclusive content that includes everything from my Patreon podcast, where I give a behind-the-scenes insight into the fashion industry, as well as a fashion book club, where I review my favorite fashion books. You can also check out my fashion ebook, which highlights the best fashion journalists to follow, definitions of common fashion terminology, and how to determine what a good source of fashion information is. The links to everything are in the description below.